on first down. They hand off to Marlon Mack. Huge hole, 50-yard line. He's at the 40, still going near sideline. He's at the 10. He's at the 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Marlon Mack. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. And again, it's picked up. It's Darius Leonard. Leonard with his second INT, and he's streaking down the near sideline. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's going to go. A pick six for the Maniac.
Horseshoe is back, baby. The horseshoe is back.
What is up, Colts Nation? It is your boy, Michael B. I am here. I am anxious, and I am ready to go for 1 o'clock. My Lord, guys, I think I keep saying this every single time that we have this, but this is the most important game that we have had to play. I am very excited to see what happens. I'm very excited to see the adversity that we try to overcome, especially in Pittsburgh and especially against a team of this caliber. I know they've been slumping, and we're gonna get to that as well. But man, I have been just a bottle of anxiety for the past couple of hours. So I'm ready to go. I hope you guys are too. And I think that this will be a great day and a great way to show that we can actually be among the elite in the AFC. So also, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I hope everyone had a great and safe holiday. Hope everyone stayed safe with everything going on and had a great time with family. I know I did. And if you missed it on the Instagram page, actually last week, the reason why I wasn't on the pregame stream was actually because I got to go to Indianapolis to go watch the Colts beat the Texans. So that was unbelievable. I mean, Lucas Oil was probably like the prettiest place I've ever been to. I'm a little biased, of course. And then I pretty much spent my entire paycheck all in the Colts Pro Shop. I mean, look, I got the new on-field thing. I got the big Quentin Nelson now on the white for the away games. I got our own terrible towel ready to go for today. And then quite possibly, I know I just need to get into the game, but the coolest cup ever. I mean, my dad got me this, and like I'm a big beer drinker. And so this was just like the icing on the cake, you know. Anyways, let's get down to it. Let's get to the injury report. Now, I know we'll discuss the Colts stuff. We'll discuss that. But right now, let's go into what the Steelers are looking at, of course. So kicker Chris Boswell, linebacker Marcus Allen, and linebacker Ola Adeniyi. I hope I pronounced that right or spelled it right. I apologize. But those guys have all been downgraded to out for the Steelers, so their linebacker core looks very, very thin. But James Conner's back. Eric Ebron looks like he's full practice, ready to go. Stephen Tuitt, I can't remember how you pronounce it. He's ready to go and for that interior line. So we'll talk about our line issues, but it's a mixed bag with the Steelers right now. You know, they're obviously losing Chris Boswell, so maybe their kicker could be up in the air. We'll see. But, I mean, every kicker this year outside of a handful, like Justin Tucker, I would put Rodrigo in there as well, that they just, you know, every kicker is going to miss. Every kicker is going to do something. So, like, we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, and then their IR includes Devin Bush, Zach Banner, Robert Spillane, and Bud Dupree. Bud Dupree is probably the biggest one. You know, with our tackles being out, you know, it's nice to be able to only really worry about TJ on the outside. But at the same time, you know, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and talk about the Colts. You know, we're obviously without our starting tackles. I've ran through my head and like all these scenarios on what I think would be nice for us to do for the O-line. I would like as much continuity and as much chemistry as possible with what we have going on. So, I mean, keeping Big Q in at left guard, I would like to have that. I would like to keep him where he wants to be, especially with him and Ryan Kelly dealing with Cam Hayward in the middle and now Tuitt in the middle. And, you know, Chaz Green has had his struggles, but we have to remember his struggles were against J.J. Watt. And, you know, J.J. Watt's very, very good. And, of course, he's going to have to play his brother, T.J., who's looking even better. So it's going to be a little tough. It's going to be a challenge. But if we could put Chaz out there for a little bit, and then I don't see why we couldn't put Danny Pinter out there. I mean, Pinter, clearly he's the backup center in case Kelly goes down. But Pinter played tackle at I think it was Ball State or Fresno State. I think it was Ball State. And so, you know, he has the experience out there for it. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I just got a word that our offensive line coach is actually out with COVID as well, so he's not going to be on the field. So a lot of chemistry issues that I'm worried about, and a lot of, you know, just this always happens in the big games. we always lose Costanzo or someone important. Braden Smith is clearly just as important. We always lose someone for these big games, man. But that's football. That's football, and that's what we got to do. It's a 53-man roster for a reason. It's 11 people out there. It's not just one guy that's going to make the play, except if it's Darius Leonard. So, we're going to have to play to our best ability, and we'll figure it out from there. Right now, we're also Marcus Johnson is also out, and then Al-Quadin Muhammad is questionable. So those are the only two other guys that I'm really kind of worried about looking for. I haven't gotten any more COVID updates or anything like that so far, so we'll see. And then while we're on the stream as well, we actually will probably get the inactive list so I can officially go over that with you guys. So let's get into it. Let's get into our key talking points for today. Let's make sure we kind of get all everything out, and then I'll get to the chat as soon as possible. I know I see you guys are all commenting. I'm sorry. I have so much to talk about already, and then we're going to get to the chat. First and foremost, I hate the Raiders. I know you all do too. After what happened last night, they had 19 seconds on the clock. It's starting to look like that Jacksonville game that we lost in week 1 is really going to bite us in the butt. There is a scenario of us being an 11-5 team. If we lose one of these games and win one of these next 2 games, we could be the 11-5 team that's out because of our tiebreakers to the Browns and the Ravens. If we lose today and the Browns and Ravens both win today, the playoffs, we're on the outside looking in at either 10-5 if we lose this today. So it is. We just have to win. Just win, baby. But I just wanted to go ahead and let my grievances out. Let's use their slogan against them. Just win, baby. We got to win out. I hate you, Raiders. Anyways, I just wanted to make sure I got that off my chest and let everyone, we'll breathe in. We just got to win. We control our own destiny if we win out. It would have been so much easier if the Raiders decided to win, and they can't. And John Gruden is ridiculous, and I would love to sit down and talk to him and understand what the heck is going on. Anyways, we'll get over that now. So now, obviously, we are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to go ahead and preface this. I really wish they didn't lose to the Bengals last week. And I really wish the media hadn't been so angry or upset about Juju's situation, about his TikToks and his dancing. Me personally, I don't like it. I don't like how he's doing it on the logo at all. But I love his branding though, and I love what he's doing for the community and for everything going on. Outside of that, he is the number one. Outside of any quarterback, he's the number 1 player in the NFL who's got the most jersey sales. So I mean, he's clearly doing something right, but he's also very annoying about it. And of course, the week that we have to play them, everything gets to a head. Tomlin sits him down and tells him to shut up, stop doing it. Everyone's bagging on him because they lost to the Ryan Finley Bengals, which only makes me believe that they are pissed off. And it makes me think that they are going to possibly not – they're going to come out swinging. They probably are. But the Steel City slump is still happening right now. And over the past 3 games, they played, obviously, Washington football team, Buffalo Bills, and then the Cincinnati Bengals. Each of those games was a close game, though. I mean, Washington only won 23-17. Buffalo beat them 26-15, so I guess by 2 scores. And then Cincinnati was also 2 scores as well by 10. And it's just, they looked terrible. They really did. The Steelers, I can't say anything good about what the Steelers have been looking like. They've been dealing with injuries. Big Ben looks like he's hurt as well. It looks like, he hasn't been the same as he was the first week. And I don't know if it's the competition. I don't know if it's just, they're getting a little stagnant on offense. But all of that culminates to make me believe that they are just going to come out pissed off and that they're going to come out swinging. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I would much rather us pop them in the mouth first and get going right then and there. But if we're talking about Big Ben, I did a little look up because I wanted to see what his difference between home games and road games were. He looks about the same, if he's on the road or at home. He's got 66.8 completion percentage compared to 63.8 home versus away. He's got 15 touchdowns in both home and away games. He's got 7 of each. But he has a lot more interceptions on road games. He's got 7 interceptions compared to 3 on his home games. So it looks like he doesn't turn the ball over as much when he's at home. I don't know if it's a more comfortable factor. I don't know if that was also because, maybe he threw a lot of them early on. I've paid attention to the Steelers, but not as much because, I'm a Colts fan. So it looks to me like he's not playing bad. And if you look at his player stats as well, genuinely, it kind of looks like Phillips' stats. Like, let me read them out to you. He's played 14 games. He's got 65.3% completion percentage, 3,400 yards. He's got 30 TDs to 10 interceptions. He's been sacked 12 times with a 92.7 rating. That's not that bad compared to what everyone's been saying about him, right? I know that's the whole season, and that's obviously, when Claypool was having his boom and all that stuff was going on. But, like, if you're looking at Phillip's sitting here with 3,700 yards, so a little bit more yards. He's got 68.7% completion percentage, so that's a little bit better as well. But his TD to interception ratio is a little bit less. He's only got 22 TDs compared to Ben's 30, but he does only have 9 interceptions compared to Ben's 10. So, and his rating is actually 99.0. So Phillip is playing a little bit better football right now, which attributes, I think, to Frank Reich's play calling. And, obviously it's a little questionable sometimes, but it attributes to Frank Reich getting Phillip and using Phillip to his advantages, which Frank Reich always tries to talk about. He tried to do that with Jacoby last year. He obviously did that with Andrew Luck in 2018. So it's all right. But they do look about the same right now. I'm sure in the chat you guys are screaming at me like about talking about Big Ben and talking about Phillip kind of together. But, they are just as old as each other and everything like that. So it's really going to come down to who's going to turn the ball over, who's not. And then kind of leaning on that, I want to talk about our offense real quick, because the Steelers defense is obviously their strong suit. They are without Bud Dupree. They're without Devin Bush, but they still have a great secondary. Joe Hayden's a great corner. Minka Fitzpatrick's incredible. And Tremaine Edmonds, Tremaine Edmonds he's a great safety. They got some really good corners and really good DBs back there. So I am a little worried about that and worried about Phillip turning the ball over, because unfortunately Kevin Bowen did mention today that the Colts had a 3-game streak without turning the ball over. So I expect, unless that works, I expect a turnover now. But we'll see. Let me go ahead and get into the chat real quick, because I know you guys have been talking a bunch. I'm just gonna look at the first ones I see, just pop up the ones that I like. Let me see here. All right. Oh goodness, you guys are calling TJ Watt a little B word. I don't want to do that. I don't want to piss him off. I don't think that's not good. Yeah, you're right. Big Ben has been playing like poop. I think, you're right, Brian. They just, in the past 3 games, it's been like the whole Steelers that have just looked like poop. And it's hard for me to figure out why. It's hard for me to figure out, like, their offense just looks stagnant and looks, basic. But I don't know, like, they were 11-0. I don't know if it was just because they played the entire NFC East until Washington decided to show up. I don't know if it was because they were having so much fun and they finally got a little in their heads. But no matter what, man, I just know that today, because they've been so ridiculed, and specifically Juju and specifically that offense, I know that they're going to come out swinging. So we have to make sure. And also, I love this too. Phillip has -6 rushing yards, reminder of the issue without tackles. Yeah, man, we're going to have to get the ball out really quick. No question. We're going to have to rely on some screens. We're going to have to rely on everything else like that as well, which actually leads you to my next point. What I really want us to focus on, and what I really hope we do, is that I really hope just our entire offense just decides to explode today. It looks to me like, we'll send Nyheim and we'll send Trey Burton in the Wildcats sometimes. We'll do all kinds of stuff. And I remember there was this one play that Zach Pascal tried to throw it to Nyheim as well, who was wide open. It was just an overthrow. Nyheim he curved it too much. He didn't go straight out into like it looked like a fake fade after that. It was a reverse pass into a fade for Nyheim. But like, Frank Reich's got some tricks up his sleeve. I know he does. I mean, he was the architect of the Philly special, which, that play was done beforehand, but he made sure that he got it going, and it was the right time at the right call. Nick Foles just made that right call there. But Frank Reich is definitely you can tell by the way that Philadelphia's been playing offense like the past 2 years that they are missing Frank Reich. And so I think he's got some stuff up his sleeve, especially for today, especially for the playoffs. And I really hope we can use it with our tackles being out, because, we're going to have to get a little creative, and we can't just do what we've been doing, without Costanzo and Braden Smith, because Costanzo, we all know we're like 1-15 without him. He's such an important piece to us. And then Braden Smith has not given up a sack yet. Like against a front like the Steelers, like it's tough. It's very tough. So our offense needs to explode, which I think we actually need to make sure our tight ends get the football today. I mentioned Trey Burton. We know Jack Doyle is going to be a great blocker as well, who we should probably use as a double team on TJ if we need to. But our tight ends need to explode today because it makes our offense so much better. Like if you can get a 2 tight end set or a 3 tight end set and just throw the ball out of it constantly and still have matchups, you still have Mo Alley Cox on one of their inside linebackers. You still have Trey Burton on one of their safeties. Jack Doyle can just block, and then squeeze out a little bit of a screen, anything like that. Like I love the fact that we have 3 tight ends who we can all rely on. And it seems to me like we haven't really used him as much. I know against the Bengals we used him a bunch, and Mo Alley Cox was killing it at the beginning of the season. But where have they been? It seems like we're just not even going to them that much, which does attribute to our offense. It does attribute to our depth. I mean, T.Y.'s been absolutely crushing it recently. Zach Pascal, 2 TDs last week. Our receivers are good, you're right. But with the tackles being out, we're probably not going to have as much time. I mean, the Steelers' front is already as good as it is. So without the time that we have and what normally we'll have, I think we just got to use the middle of the field. They don't have as many inside linebackers. They are very small. They're very thin there. I think we just got to use the middle of the field a lot and use our tight ends because it'll open up Naheem. It'll open up JT. Hopefully we can run the ball up the middle with Quentin and Big Q and Ryan, unless Big Q does go out to tackle. So I just think we need to really get our tight ends involved a whole lot more for us to really explode as an offense. So that also leads into me, like, which team has better depth? I think, obviously, I'm a biased man, of course. We have a lot better depth than what I can tell from the Steelers. The only thing that I'm worried about is I just keep going back to it. It's offensive line versus their defensive line. I'm worried about TJ Watt. I really am. I'm not worried about our D-line. I'm not worried about their offensive line or anything like that. It's just really going to come down to who is going to make the play at the right time. And it's probably going to be TJ Watt, knowing our tackle and knowing our tackle situation. Now, I did also just get the notification for the inactive list. So let me go ahead and go over that with you guys. And I'll get to some comments as well. So obviously, Costanzo's out. We know that. Braden Smith is on the injured reserve list because of COVID-19, so he's not really on this right here. Outside of that, Jacob Eason, inactive today. Marcus Johnson, inactive today. Desmond Patton, inactive today. And Isaiah Rodgers, inactive today. I don't know if Isaiah Rodgers is a healthy scratch. I don't know if he was hurt. He wasn't on the injury report. So that could be a healthy scratch like we usually do with Ben Banigou. But speaking of, Ben Banigou's dressing today. Let's go. I'm excited to see that. It's nice to see him doing that as well. And you're right, FaZe Waterhose, you're right. Isaiah Rodgers has a little bit more of a speed factor to him, but Ashton Doolin still pretty good at that, so I'm not really too worried about that. All right, let's get back into some comments here. Now, before we do any sort of comment section, I want everyone this is mainly for me. This is mainly just an exercise for me real quick. Just take a deep breath in with me. And out. Because I literally can't stop thinking about our offensive tackle situation. Like I'm genuinely like starting to shake a little bit, just thinking about what the Steelers are trying to do and how we can, scheme up everything. But I also do trust Frank Reich in the fact that he can probably use our disadvantages to an advantage. I feel like he can probably scheme up, just, get away from TJ, get away from the outside, do anything like that. But I just need to breathe because I can't seem to think about it, All right. 100%. We will need to give help with tackles. Yeah. If we listen, man, Jonathan Taylor made one of the greatest pass blocks by a running back I've ever seen against the Raiders. Some guy, one of their inside linebackers, just absolutely flew through the gap, and Jonathan Taylor was right there, no question. And so, yeah, you're right, Stanley. I mean, we're gonna have to use everything we can to try to hold up their blitz on us. They're gonna pressure Phillip like no one has ever seen, I bet. Now, I do want to also talk about, since I saw that Isaiah was out, I want to talk about this real quick. I expect to see a lot of Rock today. Rocky Sin specifically. If you guys don't think that the refs are going to be against us either in Pittsburgh, you got another thing coming, because we have all seen that we've had to play the refs multiple times this year. It's been a lot of crap calls. It's been a lot of BS that we've had to deal with. But the Rock stuff is mainly, from what I could tell, a lot of Rock's penalties were actually penalties. And so I have a feeling if Rock's going to be out there a lot today, I think he will make a good play or two. He might even have an interception like he did against Green Bay. But if Big Ben is not feeling himself, they're not getting any of the offense going, he's going to throw deep to whoever's on Rock. No question, he's going to do that at least 3 or 4 times today. I would bet 3 or 4 times in the first half. He's just going to throw it up to whoever Rock is guarding and get as many flags as he can. Because unfortunately, that's just his reputation now. And so I expect to see a lot of Rock today. I do expect him to play very well. But, I'm looking for those pass interference calls. I'm looking for Big Ben to try to take some cheap shots away just because, I'm not a fan of Big Ben. So I think he's just going to be doing whatever he can to get a little cheap play and do whatever he needs to do. So I do expect to see a lot of that today. I expect the refs to not be on our side. We're in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's been on a slump. So, I'm not alleging anything, but Pittsburgh's been on a slump, and they need to play better today. So I'm messing. All right, guys. I want you to also as well, while we're in the chat, while we're doing everything right now, I want you guys to make sure who are the key matchups for today. The guys I wrote down today who I would absolutely love to see and meet in the middle is James Conner and Darius Leonard. I would absolutely love to see what happens when, if they get a hole going and it's just one-on-one guy. I can't wait to see them just like, even if it's just like a 2-yard gain for James Conner or maybe a tackle for loss, whatever it is. I am very excited to see James healthy. I'm very excited to see Darius healthy, and I'm excited to see Darius out there with even more of a chip on his shoulder. He's pissed off his guys didn't get into the Pro Bowl. Which we'll get into the Pro Bowl. But Darius is pissed off about last year too. Like Jacoby got hurt on an unfortunate situation because Cam Hayward was making a huge play on Quentin. So that's pretty good. And we got injured, and it was just kind of just a bad taste in our mouth when we went to Pittsburgh last year because that was one of the games where we should have won. It felt like we should have won. They had that really good pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick is probably one of the best free safeties in the league, probably the best free safety in the league. So we're going to have a bad taste in our mouth, and I know we're going to come out swinging. But I'm really excited to see James Conner versus Darius Leonard. I can also say, I know we already talked about Rock, and I know we already talked about his little issues, but the Steelers receivers, man, they are solid. They are really good. Like, that's probably one of the best receiving cores, I think, in the league. You got Claypool, who can go one-on-one against anyone, like on a jump ball. His route running is pretty solid as well. So, like, he's a little Mapletron out there. And Big Ben, it seems like he's just not really looking for him recently. But how many times have you guys seen a one-on-one matchup with Claypool just going up and grabbing it and just taking it away from the corner? So I want to make sure that we have Xavier Rhodes on him. I think Xavier is probably our biggest corner, and I think he needs to make sure he's matched up with Claypool, no question. Deontay Johnson gets their most targets. He actually has their most yards as well. Let me see here. Right now, Deontay Johnson's got 77 receptions for 753 yards and 6 TDs, so that's pretty solid. Then you look at their other guys. Man, they spread the ball around really well between these three and then Ebron, their tight end. Who is Eric Ebron? No, he didn't play for the Colts. But anyways, Eric Ebron, his stats are drop, and drop. So that's his stats. Juju Smith-Schuster has 82 receptions. He's actually got the most receptions for him. So he's still looking at Juju a lot. Juju's clearly, I think, their most physical player. He won angry runs. And whatever you want to say about Juju being a TikTok star, doing whatever he wants to do, he can still play football. And so, they got 4 or 5 guys out there who can just make plays when they want to. Juju's got 82 for 670 yards and 7 TDs. And then Claypool's got 53 receptions for 718 and then 8 TDs. And then he also has those 2 rushing touchdowns as well. So, it really did look like their offense was clicking a whole lot at the beginning of the year. And it just, maybe people just found out about it. Maybe there was just too much film on it and people were just like, okay, well, this is all this is just dink and dunk and just getting some of their receivers open just on the under. Because Deontay Johnson, most of his receptions or most of his touchdowns, except for that deep ball last week, were just in the flat or in the middle of the field, and he just made plays. And so we just got to make sure we tackle. We are clearly one of the fastest to the ball. We fly to the ball more than I've ever seen. This defense specifically flies to the ball, flies to the football like the tackler or whoever has the ball, especially if the ball pops out. They fly faster to it than I've ever seen. And so I love that about this Colts defense. I love that about Flus's, his philosophy of getting to the tackler, getting there, because, good things happen when you get to the football. And we 3 game-winning fumbles this year. I mean, Packers, Texans twice, and then Julian Blackmon had a bunch of game-winning interceptions. Julian Blackmon, 3 clutch plays to win games for us this year. I mean, if he didn't have, there are 5 plays this year that could have cost us or won us, but then also won us the game. The Darius Leonard fumble, then the unfortunate fumble against Texans, Julian Blackmon pick against the Bengals, Julian Blackmon pick against the Bears, Julian Blackmon fumble against the Packers. That's 5 games we all could have lost because we flew to the ball, because we were able to. Man, that's crazy to me. Shout out to this defense. All right, let's go ahead and get into the key matchups that you guys are talking about. God, 105 questions while I was just ranting and ranting. All right, let's see here. All right. I want to make sure I get to the first one. First one I see, James Washington. Ooh, Ebron versus Okereke. Okay. I would like to see that. Okereke, to me, is probably our best coverage linebacker. Darius Leonard's, of course, really good too, but Okereke this year has looked fantastic in coverage. I would like to see him on Ebron. However, I think it would actually, if we're doing a one-on-one matchup, it would actually more probably be maybe Kenny Moore in the slot going against him, or maybe Kari going against him, because Okereke has been so good against the running backs this year, specifically in coverage, that I kind of want to just have him worry about the running back, So we'll see how that goes. But Ebron versus whoever is going to be great to watch. I can't wait to see that. I just want to leave this one up here for you guys. We're going to leave that up there while I look for the other ones. Who is Ebron? I heard he was born without hands. Look, I loved Eric Ebron when he was playing for us. He was just, I don't know if he was really built for our locker room. I think our locker room's a little bit, I don't know. He fit well with the guys. It's just, I think he wanted the ball a lot more than he was getting last year, specifically because, Andrew Luck completely, he would go for Ebron all the time. And I think he just wanted the ball a little bit more. And then in the Raiders game last year, when he was really complaining about it, we tried to throw the ball to him 7 or 8 times. He only had 1 or 2 catches because he dropped all the other ones. So that's when we all knew it's okay, dude, shout out to you. All right, let's see here. I feel like Darius is hiding an injury from the team. He looks slower. I don't think Darius would do that. I mean, I understand we've obviously, as Colts fans, we have trust issues because of what happened with Andrew. If he's hiding an injury, I feel like we would be able to see it. I don't necessarily think he looks slower right now. I don't think he necessarily looks – I mean, I saw him in person last week, and he looked great. But in pass coverage, it's he likes to flow. He likes to flow one way. It's like he's watching the quarterback too much sometimes. I mean, I know you're supposed to do that, but there are times when he's flowing this one way, and because the quarterback wants him to, because he's so fast and he's so instinctive that the quarterback's going to just try to specifically only mess with him. And that's why, he's getting, in the middle of the field, he misses 1 or 2 and anything like that. But I think if he was hiding an injury, I think we'd know about it. I don't think Chris Ballard is that kind of guy to even – if Chris Ballard suspects someone's injured, he's going to go talk to him. He's going to be up front with him. He's going to figure it out. And so that's also why we're without Costanzo and Braden Smith now. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't think he's hiding any sort of injury though. Now this is something I have wanted to see all year. Pittman can go up and get it if Rivers doesn't throw deep enough. I mean, I get it. I think Phillip Rivers' deep ball right now from the 50-yard line, maybe the 45-yard line. I mean, he's been hitting TY really well. And I think that would be really cool to see if he throw it to Pittman as well, just a one-on-one like they would do to Claypool. But I've been wanting to see this all year. I've wanted to see Pittman one-on-one, at least in the red zone, or just go up and get it. DeMichael Harris had to go up and get it against the Titans. T.Y. Hilton has been going up and trying to get it all the time as well. And Zach Pascal even just going up and he's just making plays. And I would absolutely love to see him give Pittman a chance as well, because if you guys saw Pittman's USC highlights, I know it was against the Pac-12 defenses and everything like that, but one of those Pac-12 defenses, including Julian Blackmon. So, I mean, he absolutely destroyed those guys. So I would love to see him throw it up to Pittman, and I would love to see him get a little bit more involved today as well. So we'll definitely see. Yeah, definitely a Pittman day. Now, I know Ballard has nothing to do with injuries. I'm just saying if he's suspecting, like the guy said, that Darius was hiding an injury, I think Ballard would go and talk to him about that. Like he would be like, hey, if you're hiding an injury from me, stop. That's what I meant. Like he would be upfront about it. All right. And yeah, they're right. They aren't using Pittman in the red zone at all. Clearly because, we have such good running backs and pretty good, really good tight ends. But like I was going to say pretty good offensive line, but we're without our tackles. Obviously our offensive line is great, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, to establish the run without Costanzo and Braden Smith in there. So I would love to see Pittman be utilized as much as he can. All right. Let me see here. How are we going to do this without Anthony? I mean, it's possible. Of course it's possible. I did mention the stat beforehand that Anthony, I think we are like 1-15 or 1 and something without him whenever he is off the field. But look, man, like this is, as far as I'm concerned, ever since the Raiders game, this has always been playoff football. Ever since the Texans game, this has been playoff football because we know we have to win and we have to do it to get in. Because I have never seen a more stacked AFC. I understand maybe some of you guys are like, oh, the Dolphins aren't that good. Oh, the Ravens are not nearly as good as they were last year. Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. We have 11 wins. If we have 11 wins, there is a chance that we're out of the playoffs. So we just have to win. And I understand without Anthony, it's going to be very tough. It's going to be very difficult. And I think Phillip will probably get sacked 3, maybe 4 times today. But we have to overcome it. At this point, I think it was different with the Titans game because, we had a little bit more time and we obviously wanted to take over the division at that time as well to give us a little bit more of, breathing room. But this is a whole different scenario. I think this is a whole different feeling as well. Like we're going into a playoff atmosphere, into a Super Bowl winning head coach's team who is pissed off, who they are being talked about as being frauds, as being this and that, and all this crap that they have to live with. They're going to be so pissed off. And so we have to go in there. We have to punch them in the mouth just as hard as they are going to punch us back. And, if we get sacked a couple times here and there, that's fine. Use it to our advantage. Throw a screen whenever they're getting their pressure on us. Throw as many quick routes as we can to get Pittman open, to get T.Y. open. Throw it up to Pascal. Throw it up. We have so many guys that we can do this with. And I understand maybe our run game will still be okay. I mean, they don't have nearly as many interior or inside linebackers as they used to. I mean, they got Vince Williams, and they do have some good guys out there, but Devin Bush and Spillane are out. So it's really up in the air. Like, and that does lead me to my next point as well. Like for this game prediction, I was thinking to myself, like, what am I going to do for a game prediction? And we'll get into that later. I would love to see what you guys are saying as well. Like, please put in the comments, like, what your game prediction is, because I don't know. Like, I'm racking my head constantly, and I really don't know. Oh, man. All right, let's get into these a little bit more. And for those of you guys here, almost 100 of you already, man, thank you guys for listening to me rant about this and letting my anxiety go out through you guys. It's very, very, very happy. It's very nice to be able to talk Colts with all of you guys as well. But man, this is going to be a stressful game. I thought I was anxious about last week. Like, and I was in the stadium just going crazy because we almost lost to the Texans again. All right. You think it's going to be a dogfight? Think we will win 16-13? Yeah, honestly, man, if I really want our offense to explode, like I mentioned beforehand, but it might be a very defensive game. It might be a very low-scoring game. And let's all remember, if it is a low-scoring game and we do our bend, don't break, we are, the best bend, don't break team in the league, it looks like, at least for me, I'm clearly biased. If we have to hold their kicker to a couple 50-yarders, I'm okay with that because Chris Boswell is out. They have a practice squad kicker coming up there. So that could come down. It really could come down to special teams for us. We got Blankenship ready to go, of course. We also have Rigoberto Sanchez is already back as well, so he can pin them deep when we need to, because there are going to be a couple 3rd and 10s, or there are going to be a couple 3rd and 5s where Phillip's going to get sacked. So let's just go ahead and understand that. All right. Madden said 28. Whatever Madden says, I'm going to take with the biggest grain of salt. I don't ever want Did anyone watch the Madden all-time teams while like COVID was really going on and everyone was like trying to do all the online stuff? We played the Jacksonville the all-time team. We played the Jacksonville all-time team in the Madden simulation, and we lost like 34-10. We had Peyton Manning, T.Y. Hilton, Reggie Wayne, Marvin Harrison, Dallas Clark, Jack Doyle. Our offensive line now, including the one that won us the Super Bowl, Robert Mathis, Darius Leonard, Dwight Freeney, Bob Sanders. We had all of our top guys in Madden against the Jacksonville top guys. Do you know who the Jacksonville top guys were? Leonard Fournette was on there. And we lost. So I don't trust whatever Madden says. I just do not trust. And yes, Trevor, like I just mentioned, does the injury to Boswell affect the Colts' chances of winning? I think it does. I think anytime you don't have your normal kicker out there, it's going to be a little bit tougher because, he's in a new scenario. I don't know how many times this new guy has played in actual games. But if we can pressure him a little bit and try to block the kick a couple times without getting those penalties, which we're playing the refs. By the way, everyone also, we are playing the refs today. That's going to happen. We always play the refs as well. So we're going to have to deal with it. Ever since Robert Irsay decided to move the Colts from Baltimore to Indy, the NFL has absolutely hated us. So it's not our fault. It's not Chris Ballard's fault. It's not Frank's fault. It's a little bit of Irsay's fault. A little bit of Jim's fault. I'm just messing, man. It's just we always got to play the refs as well. So anything that we can do to get a little bit more points, like if they can get less points as well with the minus kicker or minus with that kicker, then that'd be really nice, man. All right. Want Rhodes to get targeted more. It was fun seeing him shine. Yeah, I would love to see Xavier get targeted a little bit more as well. But I mean, I love the fact that people are also like not targeting him because they know he's playing very well. I think he's the third or second ranked corner on PFF. I mean, you can take PFF with a grain of salt as well. But he's been very good this year. He's been one of the best free agent pickups that we've had. And let's go ahead and get into this, man. I know that we are worried about Costanzo and we're worried about Braden Smith and not having our tackles, but I don't feel nearly as bad about that as I did when we didn't have DeForest or Danico. I mentioned this last time. There's such a difference when DeForest and Danico are out there, or DeForest himself is out there. Like, he is a one-man wrecking machine that we haven't seen since like Aaron Donald. Like, and if Aaron Donald wasn't as good as Aaron Donald is, DeForest Buckner would be an All-Pro every single year. And now he got snubbed. I know he got Pro Bowl snubbed. I mean, even after playing like 34% of the snaps last week, he still got 3 sacks, still got a tackle for loss, still got 2 QB hits and a forced fumble, and he still got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. Like, I don't get it. So I'm glad he got AFC Defensive Player of the Week. I'm glad Kenny Moore also is out there with a chip on his shoulder because he should have gotten to the Pro Bowl. George Odom should have gotten to the Pro Bowl. Rodrigo Blankenship should have gotten to the Pro Bowl. I hate the NFL. It's just we deal with so much crap as Colts fans, but everyone else deals with it too. I get it. We're not the only ones that got snubbed. I get it. It is what it is. But let me see here. We're going to get into Pittsburgh grass is awful. They will make sure it's soggy. Are you saying that they will I was reading that. I was like, wait, are you saying that they're going to do something? Oh, you're saying that they're going to screw the field on purpose. Man, I don't know about that. I don't think they're not the Patriots. I don't think they would do anything like that. Do you think Kenny Moore has a better game last week? Watson targeted him a lot and Moore came up short last week. Yeah, he came up a little short. I mean, but like there are so many times when it's specifically the middle of the field that really gets torched against us. It's like, it's not necessarily if it's the tight end or not. It's like, we've had some coverage breakdowns, specifically against Houston last week. We had a really bad coverage breakdown on that first touchdown. But Kenny Moore is so athletic and is just so good that even if he does miss a play, he doesn't make or he something happens. Like for instance, against the Raiders, Foster Moreau, they had that big that big tight end get the touchdown where Kenny Moore just barely missed it, and then of course he made a play on Julian Blackmon to get into the end zone. But Kenny Moore then came out, got the one-handed snag. He got the forced fumble. He got AFC Defensive Player of the Week after that. This dude He's a next play mentality. He is I'm going to do whatever I have to do. I'm going to prove that I belong out here. And he also got Pro Bowl snubbed after the Defensive Player of the Week thing. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to come out swinging. He's going to tackle as hard as he's probably our hardest hitting DB. No, wow. Now that I think about it, Kari might be. Julian Blackman can hit hard. I mean, do you remember what he did to Derrick Henry on that toss? Man, our DBs can tackle. Watch, now they're going to miss like 15 tackles. I swear, if I jinx us, I'm sorry, guys. But I do think Kenny Moore has a better game, specifically because of the chip on his shoulder for the Pro Bowl. Let's see here. Oh, some guys are – we got a couple Steelers fans in here. Hey, to all the Steelers fans in here, thank you guys for even coming to listen to me, man. Like, to the Steelers fans, like, please, what are you guys thinking? What's your guys' like headspace at right now? Like, with the injuries that you guys have, with what you hear about us with the tackles, I'd love to see what you guys – I mean, let's be everyone be respectful, but I would love to see what you guys are saying about this as well. Let's see. All right. Go Steelers Nation. I see that. Yeah, no thanks. Dude, let's not get there. I understand we have to win every week. We have to play each game ahead, but that would be a very cool story. Fun fact, actually, Phillip Rivers was actually the first guy I ever saw live in like a football stadium. So my dad went to North Carolina, which, speaking of, he's got like the Dean Smith stuff down here. You can't really see it. He went to North Carolina, so we got all the Dean Smith stuff right here. And I'm from Charlotte, so, you know, we're big UNC fans over here, which does not match well with the Colts blue because that's Duke blue too, so that's not a good thing. But anyways, the first football game I ever went to was Carolina versus NC State, and that was like in 03 or 04, and Phillip Rivers was the starting quarterback then. So it was nice to see that, you know, my last week I got to see Phillip in person again after 20 years, you know, of seeing him for the first time. So that was really cool moment for me and my dad. But Phillip Rivers versus Brady would be incredible. Phillip Rivers in the Super Bowl, just even if he wasn't on the Colts, I would love to see it. JT going for 150 today, Hines for 80. Buddy, what are you smoking? I would love that, and I even mentioned in one of my things, like, if we get, I would love to see us even just get eclipse 100 yards rushing, no matter who it is, like even just in total. You know, I would love to see that for the offensive line without our starting tackles, but I don't know what's making you think that he's going for 150 and Hines also going for 80. I can see Hines going for like 80 total with some receiving yards, but if you're talking about rushing, and that's I would love to see that. You have a lot more optimism than I do. All right. Yeah, keep coming in with these predictions on like who's going to make the big play, who's going to be like the guy that we're doing, because I want to keep seeing what you guys are thinking. Me personally, I think if we're going to have any chance to win today, we have to, 1, stop James Conner. 2, we have to make sure that they don't give up any big plays to Claypool or Deontay Johnson, no deep balls. And we also we need to get our tight ends involved today as well, I think. I personally think if we get our tight ends involved, maybe Mo Alley Cox specifically, I think we'll be okay. But Kamoko, if you guys were looking, if you watch the all 22 clips that people have been putting out on Twitter, Kamoko hasn't had like the stats that you want to see, like, you know, the impressive stats like sacks, QB hits, blah, 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 blah. But he looks so quick off the ball. And even against Laramie Tunsil, I know the Houston Texans, they give up sacks all the time, but Laramie Tunsil's a good tackle. And against him, he was getting to Deshaun very, very quickly, making Deshaun, you know, push up to where, you know, we had DeForest and Grover in the middle. He's pushing him up to into a sack. And so Kamoko's speed and the way that he's been playing recently has been very good. And I hope he continues that as well, because I don't know if he's going to – I mean, if he does do a strip sack for a fumble TD, that would remind us of Robert Mathis a little bit. But I think he will have a good game. I don't know if he's going to have a strip sack for a fumble, but – you know, if we do want to win, I think our defense does need to get a turnover, maybe a turnover for 6. All right. How do the Dolphins own a tiebreaker? I think it's because of AFC percentage. If you've won in your conference more, I have to double check it, but there is an opportunity that I think the Dolphins have us by a little bit because of our losses to the Ravens, the Browns, and the Jaguars. That week 1, I know last time I was here, I was like, okay, we lost to Jaguars, throw it out, get rid of it. But it's coming back to bite us. And I'm not happy about it. All right, the Colts just said something. Oh, you know what's great? the first time that the Colts actually get like a nationally televised 1 o'clock game with Jim Nantz, with Tony Romo, and everyone gets to watch it. I'm over here in North Carolina. I have to watch the Bears. Like, I have to literally go to my grandparents' house, plug in my laptop, go to like I'm not going to say the website. Go to a place where I can watch the game and plug it in with an HDMI cord on the TV so we can actually watch the game, because we'll have Red Zone on and we'll have the TV on. But man, I love how I'm in North Carolina, and the one time that they show like a national audience the Colts game, I still don't get it. I think there are some people in South Bend too who are like huge Colts fans up there, like, and just they get the Bears game too, I think, and it's just going to be stupid. I know the Bears are playing for playoffs and everything like that, but good Lord. All right, let's see here. I've been wanting something to happen with DeMichael Harris. He's not, I don't think Desmond Patton was inactive, so he's not inactive today. So that means he's playing, unless we put him down to the practice squad again. I loved watching 12 out there. Seeing number 12 and Colts Blue out there was really cool. So I would really love for him to be out there doing well. On the jet sweeps, he's pretty good. On just a play action, we could just use him as a disguise. I really love that about our depth. We really can go anywhere. Now everyone knows why Jim Irsay was pissed about that the loss to the Jags. Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be tough, but we need. Yeah, it's tough, man. All right, let's see here. I want to get into a couple more different things. I mean, I see like most of you guys, it's like some of the same people. I want to try to get as many people as I can to bring in here and kind of make this a little bit more diverse. I'm just seeing whatever I see, and I'm like, okay, let's go into it. I want to hear Blackman's name a lot today. Me too. I think, the past couple of weeks, a lot of people have been harping on Chase Young to be defensive rookie of the year because of his play, against the Niners. And that's warranted. I agree. But Julian Blackman, I do think needs to be making a couple more plays just to kind of keep his name in the running for defensive rookie of the year. Let alone, just I would love to see him play well against the Steelers. Big Ben, he's been playing not so good these past couple of weeks, which only again makes me think he's going to come out swinging. Like I understand people are like, they get upset when a team is slumping, or they get upset when some guy's not playing to like his performance. But like, he's a 2-time Super Bowl winning QB. He might be hurt right now. He might be doing something, but the man knows what he's doing. And I would love to exploit some of his bad. I feel like he's going to do well today. I don't know why everyone's thinking that the Steelers are just going to come out as slumpy as they have been the past couple of weeks. If they do, that's great. I will eat my words. I will be so happy that the Steelers decide to come out sloppy against us when they know that they're going to be playing for the division if they lose. So that's what I'm saying, man. I feel like it's a week-to-week league. They're going to come out pretty tough. So we just got to play better. People keep saying Jeremy Chin. Yeah, and Jeremy Chin probably deserves that as well. I just know Chase Young has the like name pop to him. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, so like we'll watch Panthers games and see what's going on with that. I personally do not like the Panthers. Some of their fans really are not the best, and so I don't want to see Jeremy Chin win it. I'd rather see Chase Young win it if it's not Julian. All right. Yeah, that's another thing, man. Last year, we lost Jacoby. We lost a couple more people, I think. All the ridiculous injuries do happen in Pittsburgh. So that's why I've been so nervous today as well, man. My anxiety is just constantly coming out and showing you guys. Like, I was supposed to, I think I had like 3 or 4 jokes lined up. I was like, all right, talk about this joke, talk about this, blah, 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 blah. And I just can't because I'm just worried, oh my God, our offensive line. So it's just a bundle of joy over here in Charlotte. But we'll see. All right, guys, I also want you to, real quick, first and foremost, there's 124 of you in here. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for even listening to me, man. I hope I'm putting on a good show and not just spewing out crap, even though I know I am. But please like and comment, like the BTJPod, like and subscribe, everything, man. I think we already eclipsed 5K. I think we're the #1 independent Colts podcast on YouTube, Colts show on YouTube. So please Keep it coming. We're going to keep growing. We're going to make sure we keep going, man. And there's also a pregame stream as well today, or not a pregame, a play-by-play stream as well. So, if you don't want to miss the game at all, or you have no way of watching it, please come on by. We got the play-by-play going as well. And yeah, give the stream a like, man. Give everything a like. Oh, I see. Hey, tighten up, man. Look, if we were able to beat the Packers on that game-winning fumble, of course, in overtime, you guys are going to have a tough time today. Your defense is not nearly as good as our defense, I don't think. So I'm rooting hard for the Packers. My dad is actually a Vikings fan, technically. So I've never really ever liked the Packers. But my God, I'm going to root so hard for the green and yellow today. It's going to be – we are all Packers fans today. We are all Browns fans today. And we are all Giants fans today. I think that's who the Ravens are playing. We need the Ravens to lose. We need the Browns to lose. We need the Titans to lose. So, yeah, tighten up all the way into Green Bay. Hopefully you guys just tighten up and don't score. That'd be really nice. Rivers fan here from Yosemite. How you doing, man? Where do we stand in the playoffs contention if we win today? If we win today, we're at 11-4, of course. We will still be in the wild card spot, even if the Ravens, Browns, and Dolphins obviously won. So Dolphins have 10 wins then. The Browns would have 11, and the Ravens would have 10. So we would still be one game up between those two, which is why we really, really need to just win out. Because if we win this week and we win in Jacksonville next week, we're all good. So we control our destiny. We really do. We control our destiny, and we have to do it. Oh, wait. The Browns are playing the Jets, right? Did I accidentally say that we're Browns fans today? I'm sorry. No, I did not. I'm sorry. We are Jets fans today. No question. And yes, Tom Grossi for the win. Tom Grossi's the best. He's out. If you guys don't, he's a Packers guy. He's basically the Packers version of what BTJ is, but he's a lot bigger. So we had him on actually before the pregame for the Packers game. He's a great guy. He's one of the funniest guys on YouTube. So please go check him out as well. All right, let's see here. Oh my God. I saw Brandon Smith, but I read it as Braden, and I said it's on. And I was like, oh, you're good? Braden Smith's good? But sorry, Brandon. You got me really excited there, man. I was like, oh, it's Braden Smith's back. But he's not. Oh, well. All right. Let's see here. Run the damn ball. I like to see Hines and Taylor in the backfield at the same time. Ooh, I would like that too. Maybe in like a third and short, put in Jacoby with them too, like a triple option sort of situation. Maybe even bring Trey Burton in there as well. Ooh, hold on. What if we got Trey Burton in the middle, JT, and Naheem? Like on the goal line specifically. That's a triple option that could be incredible, man. Like that. I'm just saying. That would look good. Jason David, I agree. That would be really, really nice. Let me see here. Hey, this was a little late. If you guys didn't notice or anything like that. Oh my God, hold on. Hines 21. Thank you for the $5, man. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you for putting that in. And obviously your comment with D-Buck will go off today. I hope so. But Rybone, I guess you were here at the beginning of the stream when I was mentioning how I hate the Raiders and how I need to talk to John Gruden. I assume you are secretly John Gruden. And if you are, I understand that it was a blown coverage and face mask and whatever. You still need to talk him to, and you still need to figure out what's going on with your defense because you let Fitzpatrick. What really kills me is that if the Raiders would have pulled out a win, that we could give up a loss possibly. That's really what kills me. But at the same time, it means that we have to win, and I like the mentality of win, 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 win. So let's stop talking about the Raiders and John Gruden. John Gruden. All right. Anything? I know I missed a couple of different things. Let me see here. And by the way, guys, I'm going to be probably ending the stream in about 15 to 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get our predictions in. All right, yeah. Everyone, I want to see a perfect prediction of who the player of the game is, the final score, and the game-winning play. Is there going to be like a game-winning turnover? Is there going to be a special teams play that really gets us into the 7 points play or a 3-point play? That's my cat, sorry. What's going to happen? Are they going to have a missed kick? Are they going to have a botched punt? Are we going to have a missed kick? Are we going to have a botched punt? What's going on? I want to see what you guys are thinking. Because like I said beforehand, I have no idea. I could predict And if you watched beforehand, the first Titans game that Derek and I did the pregame for, we actually both predicted. I think it was it was the Packers game. The Packers game, we actually predicted both of us 34-31 a win. And so we got the score right. And so it's like, I'm not a psychic, but clearly I am partially psychic. So today I'm just like, I'm not really sure what's going on because there's so many injuries. Sorry about my hair. There's so many injuries and there's so many things happening to where like I cannot physically put out a score. I cannot even think of what's going to happen because I just want to watch and see what's happening. All right, let's see here. Caesar Montiel, I don't know if I'm allowed to put this up here, but I'm not going to say anything, but you said it. I'm watching 57 snaps today. He's getting his feet under him. Yeah, man, dude, Kamoko is looking a lot better. I'm really excited to see him. He might be, if I'm thinking about it, he might have the play of the game, if he gets a strip sack or he does something that's really good for us. I would just love to see a Kenny Moore pick six. That's really what I'm hoping for. I know DeForest is pissed off about the Pro Bowl. I know Kenny Moore is pissed off about the Pro Bowl. So I would love to see DeForest, mess with Big Ben a lot all game, force him to throw a bad ball. Kenny Moore takes it home. That would be my dream scenario here. All right, let's get into some of these. JDW saying Michael Pittman's going to be player of the game. Leonard ripped the ball out of Ebron's hands and scored. Are you sure he's just going to drop? He's not just going to drop it and then it'll be a tip drill? Because that's probably what more likely. That would be 23-9 is a little. I think it's gonna be a little closer than that, but we'll obviously see. Hines 21. We got 28-14. Hines 150 and 2 TDs. Wow, that would be nuts. I mean, he's capable of doing that on any given Sunday. He's capable of doing whatever we can if we give him the rock. So I'm cool with that. Julian Blackman pick, Kenny Moore pick. I love that. 21-10 Colts play the game. Pittman. I love seeing how like people are just so invested in Pittman still. Like, yeah, he's only had one touchdown, and yeah, we get him the ball sometimes, not as much as we give him the T.Y. or Pascal. But I love the fact that everyone's just like, that's a rookie, and I know that he can do it. And I agree. I feel the same exact way, so I'm all for that. Let's see here. We get a game-winning interception. Okay. Now, is there anyone who's not as optimistic? I just want to see if there's any Colts fans out there who are like, maybe we lose. I just want to see. Like, obviously, I'm not saying that maybe we're going to lose. I'm just saying that maybe our injuries are going to be really tough to overcome, specifically Costanzo. But Pittman, I love seeing that. Grover, fumble recovery for TD, MVP Teray. You are loving our D-line today. 27-20 does sound like a pretty solid score prediction. Really could go either way with that one, but I'd love to see Big Grove take one in. All right, let's see here. I know we got a couple more. Dang, we got a lot of these. I love you guys. I love how you guys just decide to talk to me. Like, if you got any questions for me too, just me personally, me as a Colts fan, why I'm a Colts fan, like why. I got literally like a bunch of Colts stuff. Literally at the pro shop, I spent whatever dime I could. I even got the bands, I got the hat, I got literally everything I could. And the big Q nasty, man, just there isn't a single color that pops out more than the Colts blue on like a white jersey. Like, this is just the prettiest jersey. I know I'm biased, obviously, but it's so good. So let's go ahead and keep getting into that. So please keep telling me any more questions that you got. Here we go. Winner Steelers play the game. TJ Watt 3-sack game ends. Oh yeah, there's the Titans fan. By Rivers interception. Okay, hey, I love the honesty. I love the optimism for your guys for us to get a loss for you guys. So hey, I'm all for it. As long as you're in the stream and you're hanging out with me, man, I'm cool with it. But you suck. All right, end of the game, fumble by Kenny Moore. We win 23-20. Okay, yeah, I like the 23-20. I think it's definitely going to be a very close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout of any means, but I hope it's not for the other way. But we'll obviously see. Player of the game, JT, 16-10. I'm seeing a lot of close scores now. Love that. Darius Leonard pick 6. Defense points is our only hope. I think we're still going to score the ball or score on the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be a lot different. It's going to be not as many JT runs, not as many, like the run that he had against the Texans in that first drive. It was like a 5-yard scamper where he did the jump cut and did all that thing and didn't just power through on that DB. Without Braden Smith and Costanzo, he's not going to have those lanes. Like, that looked like a Marlon Mack run. If you guys remember playing the Chiefs last year in prime time, Marlon Mack had this one run where he was wove through the entire line of holes and finding everything and broke out for a 60-yard run. It's going to be a little bit tougher to get those kind of runs today with Costanzo and Braden Smith out. So I'm looking for quick plays. I'm looking for quick passes, and I'm looking for, hopefully, if we can get Phillip a little bit of time on a play action, we keep a tight end or two in there on pass protection. We can find T.Y. deep. We can find Pascal deep, or even Pittman deep. So, we'll see. We'll see. Let me see here. Will the Pittsburgh Steelers go down 4 in a row? That's only making me think, man, that they have lost the last 3, and the Browns are literally right on their tail. It's making me think that they have so much more to play for this week. It's it's like maybe you're playing Madden or you're playing something, right? And you go up big. In my fantasy league, I had Alvin Kamara and I had Darren Waller and Adam Thielen for my championship. So I'm sitting at 100 points already, and I'm so worried that if I just don't choose the right guys still, someone's going to come back. Someone's going to do something, And so I feel like the mentality that the Steelers had the past 3 weeks were, we're good. Even if we lose, we're okay. You know what I mean? There are some times when you look at an 11-0 team and you look at your schedule and you're like, wow, we've done all this. It's maybe we can relax a little bit. I'm not saying that the Steelers maybe overlooked the teams that they were playing, but they played down to their competition against Cincinnati and down to their competition against the football team. So, and the Bills are just the Bills. Bills look great. Bills look incredible. So we'll see. I think it's more of a mentality thing than anything else. I don't think it was more of a preparation thing. And so this week is going to be a whole lot different with everything going on, like I mentioned. All right, let's see here. Hey, Isaiah. Thanks for the $2, man. That's very nice of you. 26-17 Colts, defense and our kicker. Yeah, I think Blankenship might be the MVP today. If I'm really considering who the player of the game might be, with our tackle woes right now, it's going to be a little bit tougher to score touchdowns, I think. So we might need to rely on Blankenship the entire time. And again, the fact that Chris Boswell is out could be a huge advantage to us. Marlon reminds me of Le'Veon. The way his vision was, yeah, he does. He does kind of remind me of Le'Veon back in Le'Veon's big primetime days. If we win the turnover differential, we win the game. Possibly. Hopefully. Again, we'll see. Sorry, I had a lot of coffee, so I might be a little burpy, but I'll be all right. All right. Filthy Rivers is going to sling it today. Yeah, this is another thing, JDW. The NFL script can also be for the Steelers and Browns for the division. I get that. I mean, if you're lying to yourself if you don't think that the NFL does want specific teams to win. So that could benefit their storyline of that sort of situation. However, there is just this pure primal hatred for the Colts and for Indianapolis specifically, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I mean, I didn't do any research, and this is a total accusation and alleged thing. I think Roger Goodell was a Baltimore Colt fan, and then when Irsay left the team, I think that's why he hates us so much. That's why the refs hate us so much, or at least someone prominent in the NFL higher up execs was a Baltimore Colt fan. Because if you talk to anyone about Baltimore who was a Colts fan during that time, they hate our guts. They hate us more than you can imagine, which is why the Ravens always give us their best game. Now, I'm not saying this year they really gave us their best game. We got beat by the refs a little bit too, which is proving my point. There's a primal hatred for the Colts. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll see how the game goes. But like I also mentioned beforehand, watch them pick on Rock. Big Ben is going to pick on Rocky Sin constantly. I know he's going to do that. They can't stop the run and they have to throw. Come out shooting. It's going to kill them. Colts are naturally a second-half team. Yeah, that's true. God, last week against the Texans, we were able to go out to a 14-0. I think it was 14-0 lead or whatever it was. So that was nice. It was good to see our offense come out swinging at the start. And I really hope that we do that again. Good Lord, did someone just give us $15? Bro, Heinz 21. Heinz 21, you bring it out to $15, man. Thank you so much. I'm not entirely sure what the status of that one is, but man, even just giving out some money in this holiday vacation or these holiday times and in these trying times. Thank you, man. And Heinz 21, of course, Heinz will show out. He really wants Nyheim Hines to show out. I wonder why. Teray with his first sack since injury, clinching first in AFC South today. I would love nothing more than my holiday weekend to end with a Colts win over the Steelers and a Titans loss to the Packers. That would be incredible, man. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I love how excited you guys are about this. And even Stephen Wells bringing in the $5 as well. Stephen Wells, how are you, man? What are you thinking that's going to happen today? Are you thinking that the Colts are going to pull this out? What's going on? Let me hear. Oh man, you guys are having a lot of fun in here. But yeah, Mr. Brian, a lot of the Baltimore Colts hate the Irsay family. Exactly. I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, Jim has had he's had his problems and issues in the past, but it looks to me like he's completely overcome them and completely redeemed himself as well. So it's just, there's just a primal hatred because the Colts left Baltimore. And I know a lot of other teams do it, but the way that the Colts left on the Mayflower trucks, man, Kyle Brandt had a great segment this year, or I think it was actually Peter Schrager on Good Morning Football, who did the whole Baltimore leaving and going to Indy and everything like that. So, like, there is just a huge hatred for us. All right. Please win, please. Chaz Treat. Hey, man, I know that you want us to win today. I do too, but I really need you to lose as well. I'm kidding. If you guys win, and I would actually love to see the Browns win the division. I'm totally cool with you. If there's one team that wins today, as long as we win, I'm okay if the Browns win, because I'd love to see you guys play for the division. That would be so much fun. Stephen Wells, 23-17 Colts win. I agree. Hines will show out and play of the game. Awesome, man. I love that prediction. And guys, look, it's about 12:20 right now. We got 138 of you in here just talking Colts, talking everything like that. Please, if you got any questions for me or anything like that too, we will be all good, man. I will answer whatever you guys need me to do. Talking about Colts, talking about whatever we can. But I am going to be ending it right at 12:30, so we only got about 9 more minutes left. So I just want to let everyone know that. Let me see here. All right. There's a little bit of chatter in the chat going on. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. The past year for me has been such a blessing working security for the Colts, working in podcasts. It is crazy. It is very crazy, man. I think you were talking to me last week, too, when I was actually in Lucas Oil. Dude, visiting Lucas Oil was like a bucket list for me. It was the coolest time of my entire life. So if you have the chance to do it, I say you got to go for it. It was absolutely incredible. And working security, man, we got to get you on here to talk a little bit more about that. I would love to hear like some of your stories of what games, like what your favorite games were, what moments that you witnessed, like imagine if you were there for like the comeback against the Chiefs in 2013, different things like that, man. That would be so incredible. I still remember where I was when we came back against the Chiefs. God, that was the coolest game ever. And yeah, the Browns did get hit by the COVID bug, so we'll have to see what happens there. I think Jarvis Landry's out. Rashard Higgins is out. They got a lot of guys out. Let me see here. I was a Colts and Bears fan. Didn't realize what true fandom until Devin Hester. Dude, I remember so well. I remember that where I was too. I was at my buddy Juan's house. We were watching the game because it was the first time I ever saw the Colts in the Super Bowl. And Juan at the time was one of my best friends. Devin Hester returns the kick, and I walked home. I was like 10 years old. How old was it? Yeah, I was 10 years old. I walked home from that. I was like, we lost the game. It's over. It's raining. Peyton can't throw the ball. I knew even at 10 years old, I knew anxiety was through the roof for the Colts. But you're right, man. When Devin Hester did that, I was so pissed off. And I love that's how you knew that you were a true fan. Luckily, we came back and won that. So that's all that matters. Let's see here. What happens to a Lombardi trip? I think we still technically have – the Colts franchise has 2 Super Bowls. Obviously, we won one as the Baltimore Colts, and then, we won in 2006. I think we keep the trophy. We'll have to figure that out on a side note, but I really don't know because when I was in Lucas Oil, the only banner we had up there for the Super Bowl was the 2006 one. So it could just be, we just don't have it or just we let Baltimore have whatever they want. It's whatever. Exactly. It's fine. We still won Super Bowl 41. Right. Yes, Hauser, I understand the Steelers have been playing bad the last 3 games. But again, I'm going to keep harping on this. We have like a big Colts group chat who's doing like a big Madden franchise or something like that. And people were like, oh, yeah, these guys are going to lose, or the Steelers have been playing bad, all this different stuff. And I was like, dude, guys, just take a deep breath. They have been hearing, specifically Juju, specifically Ben, has been hearing how bad they've been and how stupid and distracted they've been, which only makes me think that they are going to come out so hot. They were away the last 2 games, because Juju was dancing on the other team's logos. He might do the logo. He might do the dancing on their logo today, on the Steelers logo, which I personally hope he does to give us a little bit more motivation. But our defense, like the chip on the shoulder that our defense has for today, is already big enough. I'm just worried that the Steelers want to prove to the national media that they belong in the conversation. Look at. How do you guys listen to a guy like this that has his hair like this? I look like Jimmy Neutron if I put it. Look. I literally look like Jimmy Neutron. I'm sorry, guy. I don't mean to distract you guys with my gorgeous looks of love. But all right, here we go. Oh, this is what you got to see, Hines. You got to see Julio Jones, that crazy catch. The Ebron one-handed catch was great. Dang, man. Dude, you're so right. TV does not do justice to how big any of these guys are. Even Phillip, even the tight ends, even our running backs and linebackers, they are massive. It's so unbelievable. Like I'm the tallest one in my family at 6'1", and it's like looking at a statue or looking at like a big building, like looking at some of these guys. It's unbelievable. Let me see here. Chris Maker. This game is probably the most emotional I'll be all season. I hate the Steelers as much as I hate the Patriots. I have somehow figured out through the years as well, especially this year, I also hate the Steelers maybe more than the Patriots. The Patriots, what they did with specifically with Brady, what they did, obviously, we hated them during the time. That was our biggest rival. The Patriots whooped us in 2014. I get it. But I respect them a lot more than I respect the Steelers. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I respect the greatness that the Patriots had. I mean, they had 6 Super Bowls and went to 9 in the span of, 15, 20 years? That's unbelievable. The Steelers have 6 Super Bowls in their whole entirety of the franchise. So what they did, I respect more than what the Steelers usually put out. So I kind of hate the Steelers a little bit more. So you're right. This is going to be very emotional. And I really just don't want Big Ben to be good. I don't know why I don't like Big Ben, but apparently, I know why. So as a middle school football player, my head, I would put my helmet on and everything, and my head would scrunch down. And whenever I would scrunch my face down, I actually kind of looked like Big Ben. And all my friends told me I looked like Big Ben constantly, and so I've hated that man ever since. So that's why I need the Steelers to lose, for my ego. Hey, thanks, Chaz. I appreciate it. I'm glad you think I'm a cool guy. I promise you I'm not that cool. But I do love talking Colts. I love talking football, and I will literally talk football about any team I can. So I love it, man. I'm glad you guys are able to sub. I'm glad you guys are here. There's almost 150 of you just chilling, talking football with me, which it is coming down to that point. It's now 12:28. I have to get going because I got to go over to my grandparents' house to really set this up and get watching. So let me go through a couple more comments real quick. I hate the Steelers. Me too, man. Me too. Hey, look, I understand. I do understand Deflategate was a tough situation. I guess I just respect – crap, I don't know if I respect it. But I hate the Steelers more than I hate the Patriots. That's all I have to say. All right, let's see here. There's a couple more I wanted to get to real quick. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that very well. Do we know who's starting? I don't know who is starting. I have to double check real quick just in case. I don't know who's going to be starting at tackle for us. Obviously, we'll see when we get out there. But all of our practice squad linemen and all of the guys that we brought up and signed, they're all active today. So we have I think we have a lot more offensive linemen on the field today than we normally do. So that's going to be helpful for us, which probably is another reason why Isaiah was on the inactive list today. What's my Twitter? Let me see here. What is my Twitter? I have it right here, actually, a banner. I have a little banner here. Please follow me on Twitter. That's my banner. And then, yes, I didn't want to say it. That's another reason why, too. I didn't want to say it, but that's another reason why, too. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not a slanderous person. I'm just gonna let the comments speak for themselves. I'm not a fan of Big Ben. That's all I gotta say. I gotta salute to the soldiers, Darius Leonard. Oh wow, that is incredible. Salute to soldiers, Darius Leonard. Those are very, very nice. So I love that, man. And I'm gonna end on this note right here, guys. I think Quentin Nelson's gonna start at tackle, at least get some snaps there. I agree. I think we are going to get something like that. I think we are going to get Quentin Nelson out there. I keep getting back to this. I keep getting so anxious. I keep getting worried about what's going to happen with our offensive line. I think I personally would want Quentin Nelson to stay a left guard, to keep that chemistry, to keep Cam Hayward as much out of Philip Rivers' way as possible. I want Big Q and Kelly and Glow in the middle. And I would love to have Pinter either on the left or right, and then Chaz Green on the left or right, because I want guys who have been together, and I want guys who have that chemistry together. That's really what I'm going to be worried about. But other than that, guys, it's now 12:30. I'm going to have to get going. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed everything like that. As I've been thinking, I think my prediction is finally coming down to, I'm going to say it's a Colts win, because I'm always going to say it's a Colts win. So I don't care if I'm not keeping track of my picks and if they're right or not, but I'm always going to hope for a Colts win. I am thinking it's going to be a close one. I am thinking 24-21 Colts. I think that they are going to maybe miss a field goal. They're maybe going to do something to where that new kicker is going to be a little bit more pressured than normal. Without Chris Boswell, it really might be a big hit. So I think we're going to go 24-21 Colts. And let's hope and pray that we get this dub, guys. All right. It has been so much fun. I appreciate you guys listening to me and let me rant and ramble about everything, and my anxiety just lets it go through the roof. I'm sure you guys can tell. I got my terrible towel here. I am ready to rock. All right, boys. Go Blue. Go Colts.